Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to this very special edition of the 13th Dimension.
They're all special.
We're your hosts tonight. First off, I want to say something to everybody out there. Jeremy York, our fellow co-host and our
team leader,
one of our best friends in the world, was injured in a horrible accident yesterday. Most of you already know. Thank you. Prayers for Jeremy York. He's in good spirits. I'm not going to say too much about it. I do know what happened, but he is having surgery in the morning. So,
Tim did go see him today. He is still living. So that's a plus.
So just keep him in your prayers. It could have been a lot worse than what it is, but it is bad. So just keep him in your prayers, your thoughts, your vibes, and hopefully he'll make a good full recovery quickly and be back on here as soon as possible. So that way you don't have to look at this.
And the network doesn't have to always deal with me.
Tonight we have a very, very special guest for everyone here. And he was on Howard Show Wednesday. Tomorrow night we are going to be, or tomorrow all day, we're going to be having a parathon. For what you see at the bottom of your screen, scrolling across, SaveWaverlyHills.com. And our guest tonight is none other than the amazing and incredible Mr. Ernie Pack.
Amazing and incredible. Now I got to live up to.
Dude, you have no idea. We love Ernie and Denise and everybody at Waverly that we met when we were there. Beth, Todd and Leanne, we love you guys. So amazing and incredible fits perfectly with that.
Well, we love y'all too. And I really appreciate you guys giving us this opportunity to speak tonight and Howard the other night. And then tomorrow, this all day parathon that you guys are doing. That's amazing. Our mission is to spread the word and try to raise money to help Charlie fight what's going on. Because it's if you know anything about it, I know a lot of people do know about it. Denise is already chiming in with the usual.
Hey, we included you.
Hello, Irene. Hello, everyone over here in the chat. But yeah, from Pac-Man Paranormal and on behalf of Save Waverly Hills, we want to wish Jeremy a speedy recovery. He's a well-known fella in the field. Everybody knows who the paranormal Adonis is, and we're just hoping to get him back healthy and back out there with us real soon. Because
he luckily for me, he didn't see last night's show because on Howard, he's probably watching right now, so he's gonna get mad at me. But on last night's show, I was on Howard's show filling in for Jeremy. So I typed my name instead of the rare balded Sasquatch that I normally put. I put the rare balded white Wookiee. And he hates that nickname. He hates
Wookiee. Yeah.
So
I think he doesn't like Adonis either, but
no,
he'll take that one because it's Jeremy. He'll take Adonis.
And he has asked the next time that we come up that we bring him some equipment, an EVP recorder and whatever
in the hospital.
Well, hospitals are all haunted. Denise can tell you as a nurse that's been around in many, many hospitals, every place she goes, she picks up on that stuff. And she said every one she's been to, there's activity. So I'm sure he'll find something if you take him something up there.
Yeah. So he's still Jeremy. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. He's still Jeremy. He's just going through a lot, and he's got a long road to recovery. So we're just to keep praying for him and keep sending him good thoughts and vibes, and hopefully everything turns out for the best.
Yeah, we're wishing the best for him. Nothing but the best.
And then, definitely. So Ernie, Waverly Hills.
Yes, sir.
I would have to wager a guess, and it would be an educated guess, but I would have to wager a guess. One of the most.
You can make educated guesses?
I can. Believe it or not, I have an education. Hey, I have an education. I graduated the third grade. Only took me 4 years. or 5 years, right?
Oh Lord. Okay. Anyways,
At any rate, uh, at any rate, Waverly Hills is one of the most well-known haunted locations in the United States. It's known worldwide. If you're overseas and you've never been there, you want to go there.
Yes.
If you're in the United States and you've never been, it's everybody's bucket list location. So I want you to start explaining why we need to save Waverly Hills.
All right. Well, first of all, Waverly Hills is owned by Tina and Charlie Mattingly. Most everybody is familiar with Tina, at least, because she's been the face of Waverly for 20 years. When the TV shows come up there, it's her, that fiery redhead that owns the building. Her and her husband bought it in 2001. They lease it to a nonprofit organization that they formed to run the business out of the building. And Charlie has been doing repairs to it. When they bought it in 2001, I can tell you from personal experience, I went up there when they were very first getting started with the cleanup. And the place was a mess, a complete mess. It wasn't safe for visitors. There were vines growing all over everything. There wasn't a single window in that building that hadn't been busted, and the glass was all over the floors, all kinds of trash in the building. I mean, it was in really, really bad shape. It would have crumbled to the ground by now without the work that they've done over the years. And so Charlie has put windows in. He has tried to seal up the roof and do his best to get the... That's exactly right, Denise. There would be no Waverly without Tina and Charlie. But he's done his best to keep the water out of it. He always worked off of funds that were raised through the tours and investigations and other events like the haunted house and Christmas light show that they do up there. He never took any taxpayer dollars. It is a historic location, and it's eligible for all kinds of government grants of taxpayer dollars. But he never took that. He never felt right taking taxpayer dollars for the building that he owns. So he's never done that. And they formed this nonprofit to run the business of the tours and the investigations so that all the money could get put right back into the building. Charlie never took a salary for the work that he was doing. Tina was the executive director of the Historical Society, and other than Charlie's disability, that was their only income. That building was their nest egg, their retirement plan, their legacy for their grandkids. It's everything to them. And they formed this nonprofit and put people on the board that they thought they could trust, friends of theirs and people that they had brought in from the community that they thought were trustworthy. And Tina was the executive director and had basically a controlling vote in anything that went down. You know, if there was a tie, Tina was the tiebreaker. Over time, this little core clique of people within that nonprofit started pulling in their friends to replace people that would fall out of the group. And then that group grew to where they had a majority. In 2019, is that George over there? It says Facebook user on my end. That says
that's all I'm getting is Facebook user. Let me see.
I'm betting it's George. But anyway, this little core clique saw where Tina had some medical issues, Charlie was having some medical issues, and this was their time to pounce. They called a meeting and they voted to fire Tina. Hello, George. They voted to fire Tina as executive director. And they told Tina and Charlie they had to leave, get off the property. Tina and Charlie lived up there. They had an apartment that Charlie had built, and that's where they lived. And that's their retirement nest egg. That's everything. and they kick them off their own property, kick them out of their home, and they say that there's, they've got valid reasons for this, and they had to do it. They had no choice, whatever. So then, fast forward a few months. Well, actually, let's do this, because a lot of people have seen me on both sides of the fence on this over the last year. I want to explain that. I had left Waverly early in the season 2020. No, wait. Yeah, early in 2020, I left Waverly over some differences I had with Tina. They were minor things in the grand scheme of things, but they were enough for me to leave at the time. And they had issues with their website last year. January 1st is when they start booking for new tours and investigations. And January 1st, their website was a mess. People were getting double booked. People couldn't access anything. All kinds of issues came up. People were texting me and calling me because they still saw me as part of Waverly Hills because I'd been there so much. And so I contacted the then president of the Historical Society and said, hey, if there's anything I can do, let me know. I got people contacting me. I know you guys are having a problem. And he said, oh, yes, we need you. Help. Talk to me. Talk to these people. Let them know what's going on. Tell them we're going to try to get things squared away. If you can, get them calmed down and everything, we'll get everything fixed and all this. So I helped work with them on that. Lo and behold, they tell me that they could use me back up there helping with the investigations and the tours. And so, make a long story short, Denise, myself, Todd, Leanne, Beth, a total of about 12 or 13 of us wound up coming up there, running the tours and investigations this year. For the most part, there were others involved as well, some of the holdovers from prior times, and then some new people came in outside of my group. And they were telling me all these evil things that Tina and Charlie had done. And, it's all I was hearing. So, they were so serious about it. Oh, man, it's bad. We had to do what we did because there's just no way that, we can stand for this. And so I started believing it and fell for it. When you guys came, I might even pass some of that bullshit on, to be quite frank. But all of us started to question things from them about how all that went down. And they saw that we were not in lockstep with their agenda. Okay? At that time, they started handcuffing us a little more all the time. The person who's now the executive director, who was appointed that by his wife. Conflict of interest, anybody? The guy who was appointed executive director at that time was the director of tours. His name is Roger Dale Clark Jr. Yes, I'll say names. Anyway, he started telling us how to do our investigations. He would regularly call us into a room aside from everyone else to raise his voice and curse at us about something that happened the night before because he got an angry email from somebody or something. And we never had any issues with anybody. If anybody had any problems with anything we were doing, they should have come to us and we'd have fixed it. But anyway, he came to us, and it was always, there were always F-bombs and all this stuff dropped every time. But anyway, eventually they handed us a piece of paper. Hang on. Give me just a second here. I've got it right here. It's 5 pages. It's more than 5 pages. It's a big, thick document here telling us how to do our tours and investigations. One of the first things in it says there's no right or wrong way to do an investigation. And then it's followed by pages telling us how to do an investigation. Bullshit. None of them are paranormal investigators. None of them are familiar with any of us in the field. Nobody in the field knows who they are, really. Yeah, he's been involved in some Comic-Con type things where he's been a driver for people who came in to be at these events and that type thing. But anyway,
Woo.
I'll move right along. As you can tell, I'd really like to talk to him today, but
That's a petri dish show.
yeah, exactly. These people made it impossible for us to continue from a moral standpoint, from a philosophic standpoint. It was just impossible for us to continue. I resigned. Several others resigned along with me. A few people were unceremoniously removed from their positions as volunteers or even paid employees in Denise's case, simply because they had associations with us. I resigned. Denise was immediately removed from the volunteer list without her saying she quit or anything. She had a paid position up there too. They pulled her off of all that. She never quit. I did. But anyway, fast forward a little bit, and I find out they have filed a lawsuit against the owners of the property, Tina and Charlie Mattingly. And this lawsuit, folks, I showed it on Howard's show the other night. I'll show it again. Here it is. All of this is all bullshit.
What's that weigh? About 35, 40 pounds?
Well, let's you tell me. Listen. It's a bunch. Okay? There's over 150 counts in there. Claims against Charlie of damages that Charlie has done to their business operations by restoring his own building the way that he wanted to restore it. Like I said, Charlie never took any government grants or any federal dollars for the restoration of the building. Never did. He did everything based on the money that came in through the haunted house, through the tours, through the investigations. The money that was raised up there is what went into the building.
Yeah, because they do historical tours as well, right?
Yeah, they do historical tours on Sundays. 156 counts, I think, is what it is. There are things like that apartment that I told you that Tina and Charlie lived in. When they kicked them out of their home, they had to move to a home that they owned that they had previously rented out. It was empty at the time, so they were fortunate enough they could get in there. It had flooded, and there was a lot of damage to that home, so they had a lot of work they had to do to it. Charlie removed the cabinets that he had custom made in that apartment that was at Waverly. Okay? He removed those cabinets to put them in the home that they had to renovate to move into so they wouldn't be homeless. And they're charging him with that. It's his damn building. They leased the building.
Yeah.
It's not their building. But anyway, that's the basis of the lawsuit. It's all for money because the Historical Society sees that the building is eligible for up to $20 million in federal grant money. But it has to be restored to historical standards for them to get this grant money. So they're charging Charlie with damages because in order to get this money, they're going to have to remove the windows that Charlie put in and replace them with wood-framed, historically accurate building. or windows. And they're saying, well, Charlie, you owe us hundreds of thousands of dollars for this. But we filed this big lawsuit. You know what? If you sign the building over to us, we'll drop the lawsuit.
Naturally.
Not going to happen. That's all they've got. That's their retirement. That's their nest egg. That's their legacy for their kids, their grandkids. That's not going to happen, folks. Charlie's not going down without a fight. They thought that they caught him when he was vulnerable, Tina's sick, and him battling some issues, and he just lay down and let them have it. Well, for a while, they were getting by with murder, and Charlie was just kind of going along to get along. But he's seen now that he's got the support of folks like all of you, everybody in the paranormal community. He's got folks like us fighting for him. He is full of fire right now and cannot wait to go up on that hill and tell all of them, you're fired, and kick them off. And when he does, we are going to figure out a way to turn Waverly Hills back into what everybody has seen it as for years. If we've got to have special events, paracons, gatherings, you name it, whatever we've got to do to restore the reputation and prove to people that the right people are in charge now, that people who actually care about that building and those spirits in that building and not about the almighty dollar, like these people that have filed this lawsuit, that's all they're concerned about, then there you go.
Absolutely. And I want to explain real quick, www.savewaverly.hills.com. You guys have a GoFundMe attached to that, correct?
We have a GoFundMe to raise money for legal fees, because this is going to cost $50,000 or more to fight in court. And Charlie has nothing. Like I said, I mean, that's what he owns Waverly Hills. He doesn't have a big pile of cash sitting somewhere. Unlike what they might lead you to believe, that he was stealing money from the building all the time. No. I eat lunch with Charlie just about every day, and Charlie's looking for coupons. You know what I mean? Somebody that's stealing money from a place that brings in millions is not needing to pull out a coupon to buy a biscuit at Wendy's, okay? But yeah, Tina and Charlie get no proceeds from the business.
So Crystal just posted it in the chat and she pinned it at the top. So anybody who's watching, if you want to make a donation or explain the other part, I'll let Ernie explain the other thing. Or if you want to do that, you can just go straight to the top of the chat. It's pinned right there. Click on it and it'll take you straight to it.
Through Things Network.
Through Things Network.
Yes. We also have these shirts that are kind of badass, and they're an original design that we came out with for the Big Para Unity Conference, and hope you all can see that.
Kinda.
Special for the Para Unity Conference last weekend in Vegas, and we've got them for sale on the website. We've got some other designs up there and some new designs coming out. But all the proceeds that we raise from these shirts, or everything that we're doing, is to raise money to help Charlie fight this, because they have plenty of money. Like I said, that building brings in a lot of money. Mm-hmm. You guys know it's $1,000 minimum per night.
Yep.
And
nobody could see the back of your shirt.
What's that?
Nobody could see the back of that shirt.
Denise said nobody could see the back of the shirt, so she's getting out another one here. Here we go. If you've seen that green and white glow design shirt at Waverly that is sold up there, this is pretty much the same logo on the back. The front, that's a different logo that you won't find at the Waverly store.
And this historical society was taken.
Yeah,
off.
At the bottom of the other shirts, it says Waverly Hills Historical Society. Ours has our website address, savewaverlyhills.com. And this is a blue and white glow that glows awesome. I mean, when you see it in the dark, It looks, the building looks really cool on it. But anyway, we're trying to sell those or give those away for a donation. $25 donation gets you a shirt. Jenny's got one. She bought it out there at Vegas at the Paracon, and they're cool. But anyway, we've got a petition on that website. We've got the GoFundMe link, and we're selling the merch right now. All of this is to help Charlie in his legal battle, and we're just trying to spread awareness as much as possible. I know Things Network has partnered, and I like to say this. Things Network has partnered with Pun.
Yes, and any other network.
Any other network that's watching
and
this.
Anybody else that wants to help.
We're going to be doing
an all-day marathon tomorrow on this.
Yes,
anybody
starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be the one kicking it off personally. So we're going to have an all-day marathon event, trying to raise money for Save Waverly Hills because it's that important to us.
And it helps. We will be saving all of it, giving it to the Pac-Man Paranormal team. They can take this and take it into court and present it to the judge to show how important it is from a paranormal side too. So even if you guys can't donate, hop on, give your testimonials, say what Waverly would mean, does mean, or would mean if you're overseas and you wanted to come see it. Get on with one of our hosts tomorrow and plead your case because that's what this is about.
Yes, we will have a link that will be pinned to the top of the comment section, and it'll bring you straight into the StreamYard. So if you want to come on tomorrow, oh, look who's here. Wait, Jeremy York.
Hello, Jeremy. It's good to see you in here, brother.
Jeremy, get some rest.
I agree completely, Jeremy.
I forgot to mention this early, Jeremy. Jeremy did say if you want to message him, you're more than free and willing to message him. It's helping him pass the time in there. So, Jeremy, we appreciate you, brother, coming on and watching.
You might be sorry that you said that, Jeremy, because you know that you got a lot of friends out here and everybody's going to want to talk to you. So you might rest tonight, and you got surgery tomorrow, brother. But
this is we all talk about para-unity.
And this is our time to show it.
And this is our time to show it. There's going to be no differences. I don't care who doesn't like who in the paranormal world. If I see you downing somebody because they're giving a testimonial, you'll get blocked. And I'll almost guarantee the other network will do it as well.
Yeah.
That this is a time for everybody to come together, everybody work together.
We talk about para-unity all the time. You know, Jeremy organizes para-unity sings and things like that. We all talk about para-unity all the time. And the paranormal community has been really good at coming together when one of our own needs something, like Jeremy now. You know, we had Beth Allen had a niece that went missing a while back. The paranormal community came together to help with that. We're really good at dropping differences and helping one another when a need arises. And this is something that I consider that building that's right over there. I could almost hit a golf ball to it from my front porch. I consider that part of the family. It's not just, you know, and not just for me. I mean, everybody knows my attachment to the building and Denise's, but for the paranormal community, I mean, it's on everybody's bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ask anybody that's serious about the paranormal to list the top 10 locations. Waverly's gonna be on there. There's nobody that's not gonna put Waverly in their top 10, and most people it's gonna be up there in that top 3 or 4 at least.
Mm-hmm.
But it's part of the family, and if the people that are up there right now running the show get their way, I can't. I mean, from being on both sides of this, you know, because I was working with them. You guys know I was there this summer with that bunch.
Yep.
I've been on both sides of this. I have very serious doubts about the future of Waverly Hills because they are all about money. There are constantly constantly developers and things looking to buy that property because it's prime real estate in Jefferson County, Kentucky. Here in Louisville, I mean, it's not scrub land. I mean, that's prime property. And these people that are all about money, someone throws the right dollar figure at them. If they own the place, they're going to jump on it.
Or if they stop getting the money.
Yeah, because what happens when we don't want to go in and have something scripted. That's not how paranormal investigators work.
No.
We go feel it out for ourselves. And like you had said on Howard's show, you're having an anxiety attack, remove them from the building.
Yeah.
No. So how long till we're not paying and they're not getting their pockets lined?
I can't tell you how many times I've heard the executive, quote unquote, executive director, Roger Dale Clark, say, I don't believe in all that metaphysical shit, right? How do you believe in the paranormal if you don't believe in metaphysical shit?
Right.
There's no paranormal without the metaphysical. Sorry, there's not.
Exactly.
You can't separate the two. And that's one of the things that was in this paper that they handed us that we had to sign. Oh, and by the way, I've recently learned that it was only myself, Denise, Todd Eskew, and Leanne Eskew. Out of all the people that were up there giving tours and hosting investigations, only the four of us had to sign that paper.
Yeah.
Okay. I see another lawsuit coming.
At least you have a copy of it. So if they've altered it in any way, added a page or another clause, you have the original.
Yeah, we do. I've got every piece of paper they've sent me, including the one telling me I was banned from the Hill. They barred us from the property that they don't own. And I've gone up there with Charlie since then because he does own it. But anyway, they barred us from the property because people were offering to pay our way to go up there and be their guides. And we said, well, we'll pay our own way. Don't worry about that. You don't have to pay our way. But they said, no, we will pay your way and you come and be our guide for our investigation.
Absolutely.
We were willing to do it. They found out about that. They barred us from the property. So
they don't want everybody to know.
Provides pizza before their investigations and give them the tour from there.
There you go.
Yeah, I think everyone who's ever been to Waverly has a favorite story from Waverly, and tomorrow is definitely the time to come on live.
Or
you will be on camera.
Or you can do it in the chats if you don't like to be on camera.
If you absolutely can't stand to be on camera, you can do it in the chats. But you'll have your chance to come in and say what made Waverly special to you and how important it is to the paranormal community. Those two things mainly, and what we're afraid it's going to happen to it if it's not kept with Charlie and Tina Mattingly. Because the truth is, if they sell to a developer, Waverly's gone. We lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We'll never be able to investigate there again.
Yeah. I mean,
the building will be torn down.
None of us can sit here and say that we know for a fact that's the future if Charlie loses this case. We can't say that we know that's the case, but
it's not looking good either.
Just looking at the track record,
yeah.
For these folks, it's all about money.
Yeah.
All about money. I mean, right now, I know for a fact that at least for a while, I don't know if they're still doing it, but at least for a while, they were doing 2 overnights a night. Mm-hmm. One from 6 till midnight, and then another one from midnight till 6 a.m.
But charging the same price.
Charging the same rate. Actually, they've raised the price. Public overnights used to be $75 a person. They're $90 a person now. Plus, you got to pay the Eventbrite booking fee. So, it's $100 for a public overnight now. You might as well get 9 of your buddies and get a private overnight because you know what? They're not booking like they used to. Go to WaverlyHills.com and check it out. There's all kinds of dates available, and I love it.
Yeah, because used to Used to, if you didn't have your name down by week 2 of January, you weren't getting it.
It sold out. Yeah. See,
Yep.
they started opening up blocks of tickets a few weeks ago now. I think it was before Thanksgiving. They opened up the first block of tickets for next year. They have only booked about 12, 15 dates out of that first block of tickets.
Wow.
For 3 months. The first 3 months of the year, they've only booked like 12, 15 dates. And I love it.
Wow.
I love it too.
Because, they are trying to gouge the paranormal community. They look at the paranormal community like we're a bunch of idiots that are just a dollar sign to them because they don't even believe in most of the folks up there don't even believe in this. They don't believe in the paranormal. And like I've been asked several times, how can you work at Waverly Hills and not believe in the paranormal? Well, you got to be in denial because you can't go anywhere in there. Exactly, George. Money's not what the paranormal is about. For us, it's about the people that we investigate, and they are people. They're not spooks. They're not characters in a horror flick. They're people. There's a history that we're all interested in. We love architecture. There's so much more to a paranormal investigator than a scary story or money.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted us to tell, a scary story up there on our tours. And that's not what it's about.
Exactly.
I mean, the president of the Historical Society, we were in charge of the cleanup last year prior to the investigations and tours season starting. And we were cleaning that place till the floors were shining. And she actually came up there and said, that's plenty. You're doing too much. So what do you mean? She said, we want the creep factor of the dirt and the dust and stuff piled around on the floors. Why do you want the creep factor? Is this a haunted house or a haunted location? You know what I mean?
Because the truth is, if you're a paranormal investigator and you're in it to get scared, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Exactly.
We don't run away. We run toward.
Right.
And I left with enough Waverly dust that my black hoodie that I bought was white.
Right. Exactly. But I don't know. I mean, it's just, there's so much about how they're doing things up there that it just turns my stomach. I mean, they brought all of us in to help them get the season kicked off this year. And
unfortunately with that, some of them are under network contracts where they can't really pick a side.
Yeah. We've talked to them. We were at the Las Vegas Para-Unity convention last weekend. We had a booth out there. Talked to every celebrity that was there, and they all are just as pissed off as we are. Almost down to a person. I mean, they were just furious about it. But they're under network contracts, and they can't have an official position without clearing it with the network. And I totally understand that. I mean, we've all, or a lot of us in the field have at one time or another signed a non-disclosure agreement or, different things like that. And I understand being under a contract and, having your hands tied to a certain degree. But we've done our best to spread awareness to them at least.
Yeah.
So that
maybe they won't book it for their show.
Yeah, hopefully they won't do that. Beth keeps getting kicked out. Her internet sucks, she says. No, Beth, you keep getting kicked out because you're a thug.
We love Beth. Beth was so much fun there.
Beth is
really
awesome.
Was. Beth and you and Denise, I'm telling you. And I'm going to say it like this. I said it on Howard's show, and I'm going to say it again. These people were passionate about the building. They were passionate about the real story. They were passionate about the truth being told. They were passionate about your investigation, not just what they were there to tell you. They were passionate about what you were catching because they are paranormal investigators.
Yeah.
They were passionate about Waverly Hills as a whole. And you take that out of Waverly, it's just another building. You may as well just empty it.
Yes.
Now the wrong story's being told. Is that going to make the spirit want to interact? No. It's going to make the spirit mad.
Yeah.
Is that going to make them want to? I mean, it might make them want to try to prove them wrong. But other than that, they're not going to want to communicate because they're mad. The passion's gone. The love for the people who died there is gone.
Yeah.
So you want a reason to save this place? Save it for the passion of paranormal investigation.
And you make a good point. The people that are there now, I'm not 100% certain of everybody that's up there because I haven't been there since we quit in July. But I did see their picture of their Christmas photo on their website, and it had, all the cast assembled, I guess. None of them do what we do. None of them travel the country and go to locations and do paranormal investigations. There are a couple of them up there who 20 years ago worked with a team that is known to fake evidence. I won't necessarily call out that team, but they're a well-known team here in Louisville, Kentucky that hunts ghosts. How's that? And one of the guys has made a name for himself based on his time he spent at Waverly. He's no longer there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is brought back by this bunch. But none of them are paranormal investigators. There's a few of them that have been on a couple of investigations, but they're not investigators. And they don't understand it. They don't get it.
And they don't believe in it.
Right. Yeah, like Denise said, part of that team that I referred to is now the executive director and his wife, the president of the Historical Society, and also the head of HR and her wife are on the board of the Historical Society. They were all part of that team as well. And like I say, they're known to fake stuff. At least I'm not saying the whole team is, because there might be some people on that team that were legit, but the founder of that team and the face of it has been known to hold a Gauss meter next to his jacket pocket where he had D-cell batteries. And then, hold that Gauss meter down close to that pocket and it spike, of course, because it's there by those batteries. And he's like, oh, we got something here. We got something here.
Right.
I actually took a tour up there in the early days and he gave me my tour after telling me about the draining room. Then he pulled out his Gauss meter and did just that. And there's no such thing as a draining room at Waverly, by the way, folks. If you watch the quote unquote documentary, should be called a mockumentary, Spooked.
Death Tunnel?
Spooked. Well, it's the same people that made the Death Tunnel.
Yep.
It's full of lies, and most of them came from him, and they are perpetuated on the regular by the crew that's up there now.
Didn't you say there was a lot of fake stuff in that as well?
Yeah. Things like 63,000 people died here. That's a number that they just pulled out of their ass. Pardon my French. No, we know of about 11,000. We think the number might be close to twice that, but nowhere near 63,000.
More.
It's like
63,000 people is more than we lost in Vietnam. To give you some perspective, 63,000 people are more. That's more people than the U.S. lost in Vietnam.
Exactly. It's a ridiculous number, and that's what they That's what they claim. There's a lot of things that they claim that are just nonsense. And to be fair, the people that are up there now, they won't tell you that 63,000 people died there, but they won't put things in perspective as to where those numbers came from or what the real numbers actually are.
They're going to let you believe what you
because
want
it
to believe.
sounds spooky to say that the more people that died, the spookier it is. So if you want to believe 63,000 people died there, they won't tell you no different.
I said it once already, and I'll say it again. If you're in this field to get spooked, you're in the wrong business.
Exactly. That's not what paranormal investigators look for. There's haunted houses all over the country every October. If that's what you're looking for, have at it. If you're looking for a tour guide that's going to bump into a door that she knows is going to make a loud screeching sound as it swings open to give you a jump scare on your tour, well, go up to Waverly Hills right now, because that's what the president of the Historical Society does on her tours. She used to get mad at us if we didn't leave that door closed when we went through the second floor hallway. If we didn't leave the door closed behind us so she could do that and get that jump scare out of people, she would get mad because she wanted to give people a jump scare. This is not about scares or jump scares. It's about history and people and the lives and the stories and the success stories and the tragedy.
And what happens when that happens is now you got a bunch of paranormal investigators rushing up to investigate that one door in that one room.
Yeah.
And not catching anything and saying, "Oh, there's no ghosts at Waverly."
Yeah.
Just like the death tunnel. How big have they made the death tunnel? I'm sure that's the first place everybody wants to go to when they show up. Let's go see the death tunnel.
The body chute.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a supply tunnel. I mean, yes, bodies were lowered down there so that patients didn't see how many people were actually dying there. They were trying to keep the morale up, so they started lowering the bodies down there.
But that's where everybody wants to go. And I'll be honest with you, I was the same way. I got to go see it. I got to go see it. But
it is impressive.
Yeah, but that's not where I had my good experiences.
No.
I'll agree with that. I've had some experiences in there. I've had some good experiences in there. Of course, spending as much time as I did, I've had experiences in the bathroom. All over the place. I've had experiences. But it's not. I mean, it's made out to be like something awesome, And even room 502. I mean, we've got this tattoo that says 502 because the story of the nurse found hanging is always associated with room 502. She got raped and murdered. According to my research, she was raped and murdered in room 504. She was found hanging outside of 502. You guys know because you've been there. 502 is a bathroom.
Yeah.
She did not hang herself inside the bathroom. There was nothing there at that time for her to hang herself from. Nothing.
But how many investigators go into 502 just to sit and investigate?
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't. We did it outside.
The person who did it, we believe we got a picture of him in room 502. I don't know if Denise showed you guys that picture, but it wasn't our team that caught it. It was a group that came up there to investigate that's, forwarded it to us after they caught it. But it's a creepy picture. Yeah, and we've had a lot of people catch pictures of a very similar shadow figure in that room.
I will say this. I did not get a picture in that room. I didn't take one. But the spirit box session we ran up there, we came across a mail that said a whole lot of words that are not allowed to be said on the radio. Now, my background is radio.
Yeah.
So I know what you can and cannot say. George Carlin had it nailed.
Yeah. There would be some FCC violations if that was just a random radio.
And those words were coming through my spirit box left, right, and center. Every time we mentioned Sarah's name, some male stepped in over top of everybody else and dropped an F-bomb.
Yep. We have noticed over the years and especially this year with Todd, Leanne, Beth, and all of our team up there on the investigations. Every time you started getting some communication from Sarah or any of the other females that were up there, when a female spirit started coming through, the males would talk over top of them. I mean, we've even heard "shut up, bitch," and things like that. I mean, they don't want the women talking because they don't want the women talking about them,
Right.
what they did to them. And, it happened. Jeremy makes a good point too. Last year, you guys know, Things Network and Pun had a 2-day event at Waverly, 12-hour nights, 30 people a night or more, $7,000 worth of business and then some in those 2 nights. And I heard repeatedly from Dale Clark, that'll never happen again. That'll never happen again. I hope they had a good time because they won't be back doing that. They can come back and book, but they're not going to get 2 nights in a row and 12-hour nights. We're not doing that. It was a special arrangement that Jeremy had made with the former president of the Historical Society, who's a part of this takeover, who is a quote-unquote bishop. Yeah. And it happened. And it was good for Waverly.
Yeah.
There was no problems. I had contacted him because I found out about it through social media, through the Things Network. That was how I found out that you guys were going to have 2 nights of 12-hour investigations. I was like, wait a minute, I'm the one hosting these investigations. Shouldn't I know about it? So I went to him about it. And he's like, oh, don't worry. That's never going to effing happen again.
It still brought in the money. Who cares where it comes from?
Well, look at it this way. Even if he split it between 2 different teams on the same night, if he had 2 teams of 10 come in both those nights,
that's $2,000.
That's $2,000 a night. That's $4,000. Instead, he made $7,000 in those 2 nights. Plus, we're a podcast network.
Yeah,
and we were going live.
Yep.
We were doing lives the entire night, the entire time. People were
and you guys
live.
had a great time and gave great reviews and talked about, how awesome
it was,
how good the experience was.
John Doherty flew a drone outside and got amazing footage of the building from the outside. I mean, amazing footage of the building from the outside. Ken Ace Taylor took a picture. Remember that night? It was a full moon.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
what's on our
Ken
banner.
Taylor's picture.
It's Ace's picture.
Yep, that's Ace's picture right there. Ace took an amazing picture. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. The moon right behind that gargoyle.
Eileen, you're right. And we had that store packed.
Oh,
everybody with their hands full of stuff.
Yes.
I still use I said it the other night, I still use my laser grid pen. I love that thing.
I wear my hoodie all the time.
The bunch that's up there now, we're never going to do that again. We're never selling those again. As soon as we sell out of all the equipment that we've got, we're not buying any more. Tina's the one that ordered all that stuff to sell. And they're not going to do that.
Well, Howard Petrie will testify. Right after we left Waverly, we went down to Louisiana to see Louisiana and meet Howard Petrie. We got down there and we went on an investigation in a cemetery in Mandeville, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it wasn't no small cemetery. And you know how the cemeteries are in Louisiana. Yeah. They're big. They're old.
Sprawling. Yeah.
Where's your creep factor?
I stood on one end of that. I stood on one end of that cemetery. And that laser grid pen lit the trees up at the other end.
Yeah.
It is that powerful. In fact, standing at the top of the body chute, as dark as it is down there,
you can light up the bottom of the body chute with it.
Yep.
You can see the door at the bottom of the body chute. 500 feet through pure darkness. And that thing lit it up.
It's the size of a magic marker. I mean, what, about that big around?
Yep.
That long. It's nice.
It's
Yeah.
rechargeable.
Around here somewhere. Yeah, it's
It's
rechargeable.
rechargeable, and it has a
Little
fail
battery.
safe so that way it won't go off in your bag
Yeah.
and waste
We
your
always put
battery.
a piece of Velcro around the button, like a Velcro strap around the button, like if we want to just sit it down
Yeah.
and leave it somewhere.
We use a hair tie.
We use a woman's hair tie. Wrap
Rubber
it
band, hair
around,
tie, whatever.
pop it right on top of it, and it keeps it on and till the battery runs dead. Which
Exactly.
takes a while.
But,
I've
there's
charged
just-
mine once since I left Waverly.
What's he saying here?
Jeremy, it
says-
kind of has been announced that we have already talked about going to Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio State Reformatory or
Yeah,
Mansfield?
Mansfield.
Mansfield.
Yeah.
And Jeremy wants to personally invite you guys to come and join us on those 2 nights.
Well, thank you, Jeremy. We might be busy running Waverly Hills by then.
Let's hope
But-
and pray.
But if we can work it into the schedule, I'd love to. I mean, I can't make any promises. Denise is my secretary and my scheduler, so I gotta defer to her on all that stuff. Plus, she's doing travel nursing right now, so her schedule is always in flux. But we're gonna work in as much as we can, investigation wise, this year around all that.
Eileen's being Eileen.
Eileen loves me. She pretends like she doesn't, but I know she loves me. But no, yeah, I'd love to be there with you guys because I mean we had a blast. I mean for 2 nights, 12 hours a night, we had a blast. I mean, hanging out and investigating and just.
I gotta
talking.
say, Ernie, and I didn't even
Talking.
say this on Howard's show. I gotta say, if it wouldn't have been for you to tell me, hey, nobody's investigating the dining room and kitchen, and that's one of the most active places in the building. If you hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have had my only encounter with a shadow person, but really what I consider one of the greatest personal experiences I've ever had in paranormal investigating.
Yes. Yeah.
He was sitting right beside me when I seen it, and I said, "Who's standing?" I don't know if you saw it there or not when I seen it.
We did talk about this on
Because I said I did talk about it a little bit, but if it wouldn't have been for him telling me to investigate it,
yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
guys-
wouldn't have gone there.
Yeah, you guys had said there's something going on over here. Why don't you guys check out this area?
Yeah.
If you wouldn't have gone there. We would have gone somewhere else.
Right. And that's the beauty of having paranormal investigators hosting the events and the investigations and the tours.
Yep.
And
Because
people who are passionate about the evidence, people who are passionate about what they're doing,
right.
they're going to lead you to the spot you need to go to.
Yeah. Scott Gray, I see him in the chat. You guys might, if you saw the episode of Ghost Adventures that was filmed at Waverly, Scott is the guy who was he was a guide up there. He worked security up there. He was up there for a long time with Tina and Charlie before I even came up there. And Scott's the guy that got shoved out of the chair in the OR that they talked about on the Ghost Adventures episode. And Scott, if you've talked to Tina and Charlie, you know that we are doing all we can, brother, to try to win this fight. And
That's why
any
we're-
help you can give us, just contact me, man. We're going to win.
That's why we're doing this. That's why we're running all day tomorrow. Everybody's kind of stepping aside, putting differences aside, and we're going to do what we can for them. What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, no, you keep talking.
I don't know Bigfoot and the Bunny. I've seen a Bigfoot, though. We ain't.
I do know Bigfoot and the Bunny. They run on the Paranormal United Network.
Okay.
They were running on Saturdays, and now I think they're Saturdays and Wednesdays, I believe.
But no, this battle that we're in, it's like a David versus Goliath thing, because the quote unquote nonprofit, they've got a huge war chest to pay their attorneys. Because that building, I mean, the building is a rock star. Me, Denise, Todd, Leanne, Tina, Charlie, Scott, none of us, Beth, none of us matter. Waverly Hills is the rock star, and it's going to bring in money no matter what. But Charlie and Tina have nothing with which to fight this big monster. They're the David, that quote unquote nonprofit
Historical Society.
But we know who won that battle in that David versus Goliath battle.
We do.
And that's what's going to happen here. But we got to have everybody's help to fund this fight. And that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, Scott's saying that night scared the hell out of him when he got shoved out of the chair. I mean, I don't care who you are. If you spend any time at Waverly Hills, you're going to have something that you can tell your grandkids about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, you know, you might go up there one. I mean, I've spent plenty of time in that building where it was just a big old empty building. Bats flying around every now and then. Might be hot as hell or cold as hell, whatever. But you don't really feel that vibration. You know, it's just a big old empty building.
And Ernie, just so you know, those bats love Jeremy York's dog whistle.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy.
I'll bet they did.
I'm gonna take that thing away from him. He's a hazard to me whenever he has that whistle.
He blew that thing up. Whoo, 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 right by her.
They all came running, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
That was a cool experiment, and the results that he got in the body shoot with that, where the REM pods were going off,
Yeah.
Yep.
you know, in sequence.
Yep.
With that experiment, that was awesome. I hope y'all got all of that on video or something somehow.
Somebody does. There was how many of us there? 30.
Yeah, he called
In
everybody
one
down.
spot?
I was wanting to go down there, but we got tied up with something else and missed it. But I mean, it was a great night.
Eileen, you can go with Jeremy when he does the whistle. He's tried to have me knocked off of stairs. He's had bats attack me. He's had other people calling coyotes. Yeah, I stay away. If he brings out the whistle, I'm like, yep, I'm out. It's nap time.
Not me. Bring it on.
Scott, if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, tomorrow, all day long on this network and on at least one other, we're going to try to get several other paranormal networks to join in with us. We're going to have an all-day parathon where anybody that wants to, they're going to put the link in the chat where you just click on the link and you can come in and give your testimony, talk about your time at Waverly and why it's so important for us to win this fight.
Flyer.
And someone like you who's so close to Tina and Charlie, who spent so much time in the building, you'd be valuable in that fight, man. We'd love to have you join us tomorrow. We're only going to be able to be on sporadically, if at all, because Denise's daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and we're going to be going to Nashville. But we're going to chime in as much as we can anyway. But
that's fine. We've got people covering it. So
Ernie, I'm going to share something with everybody here. Here's the details on it. As soon as I can remember how to do this.
we're still kind of learning some things.
It's Denise and I, our podcast is so basic because I'm the same way. We're not tech savvy at all. And there it is. There's the flyer for it. Say Waverly Hills all day.
So we're starting at 9 Eastern, 8 Central Standard Time, and it will go till we don't have anybody else that's coming on.
Yep. It'll be all day long tomorrow.
And we know that Things Network and the Paralinks, which is the Paranormal United Network, will both be running it, but anybody else. If you have a friend that does podcasts and they want to come in, tell them to shoot us the links. We'll make sure that we stream to them. I mean, we'll stream it everywhere we can. On this, we can do 8 platforms. And we'll run it everywhere. Share it. Come in, tell your story. Anything you can do.
Yeah, please. We need all the help we can get. This is a big deal, folks. I mean, for the paranormal community, like I said, we're always really good at banding together and lifting one another up. Well, Waverly Hills is part of the family, and we need to do that. And Scott, I'll PM you when I get off this podcast. Won't have a lot of time to chat, but I'll be in touch with you, brother.
He's trying to still close things out, I think.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all think of these shirts? You need
I'm
one?
in love with them. Like I said the other night, if you're a paranormal investigator and you don't love a shirt that glows in the dark,
My hoodie does. I have the hoodie that has the same back. I got it at
Yeah.
the store while we were up there.
Yeah,
Well, this is unique. This is not, you can't get this anywhere but through SaveWaverlyHills.com.
we had to finish up Christmas shopping today, but we have enough, so we're going to order us 2 shirts tonight.
Sweet. We'll
I'm
take
guessing
it.
Facebook user
I
is
want a
George
shirt.
still. George, you are invited. Everybody is invited. There is
Anybody wants to share a story. The
Even
link
if
will
you-
be pinned in the chat. Come on in.
I wanted to bring a couple of comments up here. Scott Gray wanted you to shoot him a PM when you get a chance.
Will do.
Della said, hello, tomorrow, what time? I love Waverly, Tina, and Charlie.
all day. If we run it into Sunday, we're running it. We are running it till we can't. Now I will tell you we have to run in 4-hour increments. So we're going to run an hour or 3 hours and 55 minutes. We will take a 5-minute break.
And then we'll be right back on.
That's just because StreamYard and Facebook, they cut you off after so long. So you're not just leaving an open stream running. But we will come right back.
It works.
We'll have different show hosts coming in and out. And what we're like I said, we're going to post the StreamYard link. You can come in through the StreamYard link. We'll add you to the live, and you can give your testimonial about Waverly. And then basically the reason we're doing this, personally, I would love to see it run till like 11 o'clock tomorrow night, Eastern Standard Time. That would give Ernie and Denise 14 hours of testimonial video footage saying this place needs to stay with Tina and Charlie. This place needs to stay with the Mattingleys. These other people, we're not paying to go there with what they're charging, with how long we're getting to investigate. We're not coming. They're trying to rip us off. We're smarter than that.
Yep.
Right.
And I want to iterate, they will be able to present this to the judge.
Yes, we are going to make sure that they get it.
And then that judge will be able to say, wow, all these people say they're not going to come back, or say, we're not trying to make a boycott. I want that to be understood. We're not trying to say that we're boycotting Waverly. We're trying to say that we want to see justice done.
So we can all
And that
still love
we're
it.
not dumb enough
So
to
that
pay
we can all go enjoy Waverly.
Yes.
As it
We're not
should be.
dumb enough to pay $1,500 for a 6-hour investigation.
Or a guided.
Or a misguided.
Yes. Tour.
Scripted
Yes.
tour.
By people who don't even believe in why we're there.
Right.
Yes,
We wanna
Della,
see us as
definitely.
dollars.
Share anything that has to do with any of this.
You can share anything on our network at any time,
Please,
because
that's-
the more any of our shows get shared, the more awareness is brought to this. The more the awareness is brought to this, the more people are going to pitch in and help out. And I'm really hoping that someone other than Denise and Ernie are in the Louisville area sharing this out to people around Louisville. That way they can see this, show up at the courthouse, say, no, we're not letting this building go away.
This is a good point. If the county wants the taxes from the tours, I mean, you guys got to think. This isn't just us handing Waverly money. We had hotel stays. We had food. We had gas. We had snacks. We had all other kinds of stuff besides Waverly that brought in
You might
revenue.
go to Churchill Downs and bet a horse. There's
Yep.
the whole city.
Churchill
benefits.
Downs was when we were there.
Yeah.
Exactly. I remember y'all talking about it.
What is the or how many people come there and order pizza, Ernie?
Everybody just and we order them in stacks. There's not just a pizza.
We're bringing
There's
we're
4 or
bringing
5.
tourism. How many investigators are going to go there and then say, hey, we're in Louisville. Before we leave, We're going to stop by and take a tour of the Louisville Slugger.
We're going to go buy some bourbon.
Right.
We're going to go down to Whiskey Row and we're going to hit the Bourbon Trail. We're going to swing by a Cave Hill Cemetery. We're going to, all the other things that the city has to offer. Waverly benefits all of those and helps all of those.
Right.
And,
and all you have to do, Ernie, and I'm going to bring this up tomorrow. All you have to do is say, look at the booking from last year and when it filled up and look at this year.
Yeah.
And look at the difference.
You guys can check me on that. You two, everybody that's watching right now, go to WaverlyHills.com, not SaveWaverlyHills.com because that's our site, but go to the WaverlyHills.com and click on private overnights. You will see all these open dates between now and March that are not booked. That would not be the case if they weren't trying to screw Tina and Charlie out of their building and the paranormal community was not mad about it.
Right.
Ernie, I'm going to stop you there because we have a special guest coming on
for a special reason
and we wanted to surprise you guys with it.
All right.
So here's Jesse from These Ghosts. Mr. Jesse Stewart, what's up?
What's up, Jesse?
Hey, what's going on?
How's it
Can
going,
you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Awesome. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great.
Good. I don't mean to interrupt your stuff here.
No, you're part of this.
Yeah, I've been good.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. For sure. I might have got on at the last minute, so I don't know what you guys were talking about right in the middle of it.
We're just talking about saving Waverly.
Oh, yeah.
So have you been to Waverly?
No, I haven't been there yet. That was actually my wife wants to go there really bad, and we haven't booked it yet, but
bucket list like everybody else.
Yeah, she's totally wanting to go there, but I don't really know a whole lot about what's going on. But I was talking to Howard, and he was saying something about maybe, I guess, the city or the historical society or something. Something's going on with that.
It's trying to take it away from the rightful owners. And they're overcharging. They're not telling the truth. They're doing gimmick stuff.
So I guess my question is, how can they take it away from the owner?
They leased the building from him.
Sure.
Because the nonprofit that Charlie created leases the building from him.
Mm-hmm.
And they are claiming all these damages that Charlie has done to them financially because of the renovations he did to his own building. That's the upshot of it.
So
they've got a 156 count lawsuit.
Show them the lawsuit.
Or I'll show it again. This is the lawsuit.
What?
It's 156 counts of pettiness.
Because Charlie didn't put the right windows in. He put windows in that he got at a reasonable price, and he didn't put the right windows in, so therefore they have to replace them.
Yeah, so they're charging him with damages for the replacement window. But see, here's the thing. Charlie has never taken a dime of taxpayer dollars for this building.
Yeah.
It's eligible for all kinds of historical grant money.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie's
and
never
that's
taken
the reason why they want the building.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds like it's a money grab for them.
Yeah.
Bingo.
If it's involved with the city, I would
It's
imagine.
not the city.
Okay,
Not
so
the
it's
city.
the historical. Yeah, they're going to want.
The Historical Society is the non-for-profit that Charlie set up for it that they stole from Charlie because they voted Charlie and Tina off the board. They got enough of their friends on it to have a majority and voted Charlie and Tina off the board.
Yeah, he owns the building, so all he's got to do is evict him.
Well, that sounds very simple. They've got a 99-year lease for one. Okay. It's a 99-year lease. Charlie has sent them an order to vacate already.
Yeah.
In return, they filed this lawsuit, which Charlie has no other recourse but to answer this lawsuit which the first court date's coming up December 22nd, Wednesday night or Wednesday. And
on top of that, if
to all these charges, or just the nature of a civil case, if you don't answer to charges against you or claims against you, the judgment is always in favor of the plaintiff. So he's got to answer this.
So basically, they're just trying to drain him dry, pretty much.
Exactly.
And here's the real rub. They'll drop the lawsuit tomorrow if he signs the building over to them.
What?
Yeah. Is it blackmail, or is it just me thinking that?
No, I mean, that's 100% blackmail like that. I mean, I would definitely have his lawyer use that. Hopefully he got that in some kind of writing or videoed or something.
I don't know the
but
details.
I mean,
I do know that he was told that.
I will tell you, I own a couple businesses myself, and when it comes to leasing, man, if it needs a window, it doesn't matter what kind of window, as long as there's something put in there. I mean, there's nothing they can do. So
it should be laughed out of court.
It should be laughed out of court, but the problem is he's got to have the money to fight it in court. They've got the money to proceed with the lawsuit because the building brings in a crap ton of money. They've got a big war chest to fight him with. He's got nothing. The building is what he has. That's all he had. He's got no income.
Because all the money he's made over the years through the building has gone to the non-for-profit.
Yeah.
Damn. So I would encourage teams to basically not go there until, you know what I mean? Don't fund them.
I can't technically say that. Charlie can't technically say that.
I can say that, though.
Yep.
Teams, ghost hunters, if you're out there, don't book this place until it's finalized and the owner keeps what he's got. That's his. I mean, he worked. I can only imagine. I know as a business owner myself, like people work hard for what they have, and kind of sounds like it sounds like blackmail. So I mean, that's my opinion. So
yeah,
basically they're trying to commit a hostile takeover.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's. Damn. Most judges going to look at that and laugh, though. To be fair,
that's the hardest working man I've ever met, Charlie Mattingly. From sun up until sundown, he was out there putting up walls, putting in windows, doing something on the Bobcat, leveling out the parking lot, whatever he could do.
Yeah.
From sun up to sundown, 7 days a week at Waverly Hills to improve things and make it safe and all that for the guests that come in.
So they're saying the building's not safe, I guess? That's what they're trying to say?
What they're saying is that the renovations that he's done are not historically accurate, and they can't get a $20 million grant from the historical, the governmental
National Historical Society.
Yeah. They can't get their $20 million grant money because the renovations that have been done are not historically accurate. So he has to undo everything that he's done.
Or they can do it.
Well, they're charging. They will do it. It's part of the lawsuit.
I mean,
they will do it, but they want him to pay for it because he's the one that did.
Well, hopefully that's not in his lease, though. Hopefully, but regardless,
I don't think that's a part of the lease at all.
Yeah, if it's not in the lease, then they don't have a leg to stand on. I mean, all he's got to do is make sure it's safe for them to do their business in. That's it.
Yeah.
If they want the grant money, then they need to buck up the money, put it up, then they can do what they got to do then. But, it's a shame to hear something like this happen in this field and them try to reap the benefits from it after they've been God knows how many teams have went out there and investigated. So I can only imagine the amount of revenue that they get. I mean, the only thing that's going to hurt them is when people stop booking it. And that's what's going to hit them is.
They think we're all idiots, Jesse. They're not paranormal investigators. They don't believe in what we do.
Well, I mean, I guess us idiots need to stop financing their gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's how I feel about it. I mean,
Exactly.
So, yeah, for sure. I mean, so I guess, is there like a GoFundMe or is there something up to try to help him right now?
Yes. If you go to SaveWaverlyHills.com, we've got links to the GoFundMe account. We've got a change.org petition. A petition is worth the paper it's printed on in the large picture, but if we can put that in front of a judge with 10,000 signatures on it, that's going to have some impact.
Yeah.
Man, I'd like to help on my part, and I guess, I would even donate like 25-30% of my sales, you know what I mean, to this if need be. You know what I mean? So I don't have no problem doing that.
Anything you can do, brother.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not a ghost stop by any means, but I would say if people are looking for equipment, let's do something, and let's give a kickback, and I can personally give it to you, Ernie, or whatever, PayPal you, and then you can do whatever you need with it and move it where it needs to be.
How about this, Jesse?
Yeah.
We're having a parathon tomorrow.
Sure.
Where what we're trying to do is get enough video evidence of paranormal investigators saying how important it is for the building to stay with Tina and Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who wants to is willing to come into the show. We're going to post the link for the show at the top of the comments. We're going to bring these people in. Anybody who's watching, anybody who wants to, it's going to run all day long tomorrow on Things Network and on Pun TV. We have 2 different networks that are coming together for this in the spirit of para-unity to run this.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're trying to do is get enough video evidence. How about if you did maybe like tomorrow during that?
And we can set up a time and you can
You can come in and talk about it.
Talk about some of your equipment.
Yeah.
And get some stuff sold and get it donated.
Yeah. I mean, I will definitely do what I can to,
and you throw a number out there that you're comfortable with, and tomorrow during the parathon, if someone buys a piece of equipment, you can give a kickback to Save Waverly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, so I own a burger restaurant, and we're doing the same thing with Kentucky. So we're actually taking the food trailer out Sunday and Monday, and we're probably going to feed about 800 people down towards like Casey, Kentucky, and all that.
Sweet.
So,
cool.
and that, that's, I'm all about helping, people in need. And it sounds like, he needs some help. And
Yeah.
He does.
I say, let's go after it. And, personally, my opinion, I would definitely encourage, I mean, so they run all these tours then?
Mm-hmm.
The Historical Society does.
So they're responsible with
Society.
Yeah. So, I mean, hell, if he's not seeing any of that money, and that's all them guys, like teams, like what are we doing? Why are we allowing them to continue to operate?
And
there?
They're restricting areas of the building that we could investigate.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm being told by other investigators, not by Ernie. I was told that by another investigator.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Angie Mitchell, most of us know Angie. She had a private overnight booked a month or so ago, and she gets in there. One of the members of the board happens to be a B horror producer.
yeah.
He was filming a B horror movie in the building while she was there on her private investigation, and she was told she couldn't go to certain parts of the building because they're filming there right now. She was told she had to be quiet in certain areas because they didn't want her to interrupt, the sound of their movie. And she paid full price for a private investigation.
See, that's horrible.
That's the kind of stuff that they're doing. I mean,
And they're not telling the right story. They're out to try to scare you, not be honest about the investigation.
Well, it sounds like they have a trend of not being honest, especially after this comes out.
well, here's a prime example of their honesty. Okay, Charlie owns the lower gate that comes up from the golf course, the main gate to get to the building. He owns that. That is separate from their lease. That is just his private property.
Yeah.
Okay. They put a lien on it for one because Charlie was going to sell it to us. a lock has been put on that gate, so they can't use that gate anymore. There's 2 more entrances for where they can get, guests in and out of the building. But that particular gate, he put a lock on that gate. On the website, WaverlyHills.com, or therealwaverlyhills.com, their website where they tell their lies, they put a banner on there that said, due to a tree falling over the road, guests will have to use gate B. That stayed up for 2 weeks. It's a lie. No. Charlie put a lock on his gate because he has a right to put a lock on his gate.
Yeah.
They lied and said a tree fell across the road.
Huh.
They lie. I mean, it's what they do. They lie. And this whole freaking lawsuit, this whole big pile of lies right here is what we're fighting.
Well, I mean, I guess technically, so I guess that means he could open that gate for paranormal investigators to stand there and do what they wish, right?
We're thinking about having a rally at the gate.
Yeah, that sounds like that's what I would do because, I mean, surely they've got to have some kind of refund policy too. If I tell you what, like if I had that place booked and I found this out, I would 100% ask for a refund.
Yeah.
100% ask for a refund after
you
some
would
stuff
lose
like
your
this.
Eventbrite fee because Eventbrite fees they're not refundable.
No, but I mean,
you can get your $1,000 for the night back.
Yeah, I mean, hell, that's. Oh yeah, I mean,
that's not all, Jesse. Your private investigation now isn't all night long; it's half the night, and then they book another team the other half the night, but it's the same price.
That was the public overnights. They were doing that at least for a while. I'm not. I mean, the way that it looks, if you look at the website right now, they're from 8 p.m. till 4 a.m. again as of right now. I think because they got so much blowback from the changes that they had made, they've reverted.
They tried that anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, anything I can do to help, I'm all about. And I say, I mean, it's crazy just hearing this happen, especially somebody like that. I mean, the sweat and blood and just effort that this man has put into this building. I mean, even before he owned the building, I mean, think about everything it took to get him there. And now you have a historical society that what you're going to try to take something away from this man that's worked that hard to get to?
And technically, Jesse, it's not even a historical society. That's just what they call themselves. Technically, it's a nonprofit organization.
Right. They don't even have a real historian on staff. They have someone who is titled as historian.
I tell you what,
a parts manager at a car dealership.
I bet you they say they're nonprofit, but I promise you they pay themselves.
Oh yeah, they're making 6-figure salaries up there right now.
Yeah, but it's a no profit, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage all investigators think about it before you book this place until all this gets over with. That's all I would say.
Jesse, things has gone there for 4 years straight, and we're not going there this year.
That's all. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the way we stand up. Like, we stand up by not supporting them, like Ernie, convince him to buy that property. Then guess what?
I'm not a real historian yet, Jeremy. I'm an amateur historian.
Well, okay. I've seen a couple people in the chat asking about the court date. The court date is December the 22nd. It's this coming Wednesday here in Louisville, Kentucky, at the county courthouse. I'm not sure of the exact room number or what judge is going to be hearing it or anything like that, but I do know that the first court date is the 22nd. Anybody that can possibly make it in there, if we could pack that courtroom with supporters of Charlie, that would have a big impact as well. And I mean, our main goal with Save Waverly Hills is to, of course, raise funds for Charlie's legal defense. but to spread awareness. If you've got any contacts in the paranormal community, if you're friends with any of the paranormal celebrities and you can get them on board to help us out. You know, we talked about this earlier, but I know a lot of them are under network contracts and there's only so much they can say in a matter like this. But anybody that can speak out and help us, it's going to help. And I mean, this is a fight that we're not going to, you know, Charlie has said this is a fight to the death, and he doesn't mean that he's going to go kill somebody. He means that this is his life. I mean, and he's no matter what happens with this court battle here, he's going to continue to fight for his building that he saved, that meant so much to him, until he dies. And I mean, I told the story the other night on Howard's show. I can tell it again about what led Charlie to get the building. But when you know the backstory of how his dad had worked there, his dad had contracted TB while he was working there. The place saved his life. And then
everybody focuses on the deaths, but it saved more people than died there.
Right. And
I mean, I think the important thing is, regardless of how he got that building, it's his. And I think for somebody to just blatantly go out there and say, "Hey, look, I'll drop charges if you give me the building." Like, who the hell are you? Pardon my language, but like,
exactly.
You're right.
I mean,
you're absolutely
real,
right.
Like, I mean, that's crazy. Like, do we know how much? Is there an estimated cost what he thinks this is going to take to fight?
$50,000. They're looking at a 6-month battle because, you know, I mean, he's got to answer these charges, and then he's going to have to go on the attack to get them removed from the property. He's going to have to, you know, go through the eviction process and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically, like, I mean, in most leases, it does state like the landlord can break the lease at any point. As long as he gives notice. So, I mean, in theory, he can start that process and just put that much more stress on them.
Yeah. Well,
you know, I mean I think at this point, it's about putting
separate battle, you know, I mean, and that's a separate retainer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all.
And I think at this point, it's all about how much can we put stress on them? Because, I mean, once they start feeling the stress, you know, and the headaches from it, it's going to really, you know, and that's why I think, you know, any investigators, if you're watching this, think twice before you book this place right now. Wait until this is all settled and done. And we need to do that out of respect for Charlie, you know, because regardless, you know, it don't matter if they got to pay him $1 or $10,000. It doesn't matter. It's the principle of the point. They still have to pay him whatever they're obligated to pay him, but we can make a difference right now on how this impacts them.
Yeah. Yeah. Eileen makes a point here. I don't think you were on, Jesse. Tina and Charlie lived there.
Yeah.
Charlie had built an apartment inside that's where they lived. And the Historical Society, when they voted Tina off the board, they evicted them from their home. Told them, get out.
I'd build a damn house right by that gate.
There's a lot of things that are going to happen with that property that they don't have access to when Charlie can do it. If he doesn't, you know, get the building back, that's going to be an entertainment mecca down there. There's going to be loud music and all kinds of stuff going on.
I think if we can get this, whether it's podcasts or social media or whatever it might be, I really think reaching out to the paranormal field, everybody that we've got in this field, if we all come together and do this, they're not going to stand a leg. I mean, they're going to fall on their face flat. And I don't think they realize that. They might say we're weird or this is stupid. They don't believe it. It is what it is at that point. But they believe in it enough to charge somebody $1,000 to stay there for 8 hours.
Well, they believe in this. That's all they
Yep.
And Jesse, it's like I said earlier, if they don't get the money from us and the right developer comes along, because it is prime real estate, it's right next to a beautiful golf course. It's prime real estate for a developer to come in there and build a housing addition or
Yeah.
apartment building or something like that. It's prime real estate.
Well, and that could be why they want it too.
Yeah.
So, the right developer comes along with the right price, Waverly's gone forever. And all these people who've never got to go there like yourself are never going to get to go there.
Yeah, me and my wife were actually talking about.
We can't say for sure that that's the case.
No, but
yeah, that's conjecture. But
look at what they've done. Do you trust them not to do that?
I mean, I'll tell you this much. I mean, me and my wife were actually talking about it today. We'll have a booking. I'll tell you right now, we're not booking it. Not now. We're gonna wait and see. Just out of respect for him, man. Because I mean,
when we get it back, come on up, brother.
Oh, I will. When all this is
We'll
done,
show
we're
you a
going.
good time. While you're here in Kentucky helping the tornado victims, give us a holler. If we can meet up, we will.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's those of you who aren't familiar with these ghosts. Jesse makes great equipment.
Yes.
Very affordable.
Do you have Annabelle?
He's helping us out.
I don't. I'm at a friend's house right now with my wife, but no, I've got quite a few orders for that one. I've actually got
you're gonna get another one tomorrow.
Well, I have limited that is a limited doll, so probably the first week after Christmas or so it will change. But I have a new doll being made right now. Also, since I've paired with Parapost, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Parapost, the social media outlet for ghost hunters. Mm-hmm. So the ghost emblem is Para, the ghost. So now I'm going to have Para, the EMF. So it's going to be, instead of you got your bears, your REM pod bears and all that, this is going to be Para, the EMF. So I got that coming out. The Jacob's ladder's coming out. I have tested that, and man, the
response. Did you get some really good results from that?
I did. I went out to Maryland and did some investigating with Paranormal in the Funhouse, and we got to use it, and it was ridiculous. Like, man, it's crazy. I could only do like, oh yeah, I see that.
There's ours.
He's never far.
Yeah, I couldn't do more than like 10-second pulses with it, but it was so intense. Like you can smell it, feel the energy like off of it, and I think it's going to be a huge game changer in the field. Like people use Tesla coils and the EM pumps. I mean, EM pumps are great, but I always tell people like it's a magnetic field. It's a different field that. You know what I mean? That this is going to create something different. I mean, so it is something that I was really worried about new consumers using it because I mean, let's get real. We're dealing with electric here, but so I'll have to put some kind of disclaimer on it, but it's
if you knock the piss out of yourself with this, we're not held liable.
I'm telling you right now. I tried to. Okay, so I made 3 different versions. One was a 6 volt, a 9 volt, and a 12 volt. The 9 volt and the 12 volt knocked the piss out of me. So we stuck with the 6 volt, and it's more than enough energy to help spirits. Yeah, I mean it.
I give credit to Howard for bringing that to your attention too. I mean, he did.
Yeah,
he had us both reeling our brains about it.
No, yeah. I mean. It's crazy, but I don't even know. Once it comes out, you're going to be blown away. Like, we
might be working on a development with these things too, right, Jesse?
Yeah, we've talked about that. I need to get on that. I've been so damn busy. After the holidays, you need to message me, and we need to get brainstorming and just do it.
Yeah, we need to jump into that with.
You need to be like Jesse. Stop what you're doing. No new equipment till we finish this.
Yeah.
And we'll make it happen.
That sounds good to me.
Heck yeah.
But, I appreciate you. I mean, speaking up and getting behind this, because I mean, this is something that's really important to the paranormal community. I mean, Waverly Hills is on everybody's bucket list, and
one thing you'll know about me is I'm not afraid to speak my mind. That can be a good and bad thing, but I feel like in this field right now is a time for people to stand up and speak your mind, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to just sit back, and don't just sit back and let it happen. And I think sometimes, let's get real. We all got our lives and we got everything going on, but like, just take like 20 minutes out of your time one day and research it and then let people know, like, hey, this is not right. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for every one person we tell, it can get to an extra 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly.
So,
and it's like I said before, Jesse, when we went, we had Ernie and Denise and Beth as our guides the 2 nights that we were there last year. And you could tell that they were passionate about it.
mm-hmm.
Ernie said, hey, nobody's investigating in the kitchen and dining area, and that's a really active spot.
Yeah.
I go over there, I have one of the greatest paranormal personal experiences I've ever had. I saw a shadow figure block out a moonlit window from here up.
Oh, wow.
I mean, darken a brightly moonlit window.
See,
it was
man,
a full moon
that's
that
why
night.
I was so excited to come down to go to that place, because I've heard all the stories and I've never physically seen like any kind of shadow figure myself personally.
It's got a bunch.
I mean, I have a tendency to hear things like voices, like I can hear, and I don't even know. Huh?
You'll hear them there.
Yeah, like, so it's really weird, man. But man, so it's a shame this is all happening, because I was really excited to like do something with that this coming up year, but looks like that's going to be put on hold till this gets figured out. But yeah.
So for those who are just joining in, we're talking about Saving Waverly Hills, which Pac-Man Paranormal is one of the lead groups that are helping to promote that. And Jesse with D's Ghost has offered to put money in from proceeds that he gets off of his ghost hunting equipment that he makes. And it's amazing. I'm still reeling over that Annabelle doll. I'm telling you. I have like dreams that I'm using it, but
we're gonna order one tomorrow.
So he's going to give some proceeds to help. And tomorrow, Things Network and the Paranormal United Network are teaming up, and possibly other networks as well. And we're gonna run a parathon. And anybody can come on and they can talk about their experiences with Waverly, what they hope to see, like Jesse. It was on their bucket list. And we're talking anybody. You don't have to be in the United States, across the world. It's for everybody, and it's going to run all day.
Well, I'm gonna talk to some of my others. Go ahead. Sorry, bud.
That's okay. Eileen asked earlier in the chat. Before I forgot about it, I wanted to address what she had asked. If someone were to sue the Historical Society or to sue over this, who would they go after? And it would be the Waverly Hills Historical Society. Waverly Hills Historical Society. That's who is concocting this fiasco.
I mean, you could even start with people that maybe have paid that $1,000 fee and didn't get complete access to the house like they were provided or was supposed to be provided, but they weren't. I mean, it could be a civil lawsuit, but things like that will help put stress on them for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Della, you can go to www.dsghost.com and you can find all of Jesse's items on there.
Yeah. And like I said, he's got some unique items that you won't find in other places.
Yeah, and I'll put, 25-30% of the sale, and Ernie, you'll just have to give me your PayPal, and I can make sure it gets right over to you after every sale. Okay. Because I'd love to help out. I can put a donation button on my website, but if you've already got something in the works, I think it's better to just have it go straight from that. You know what I mean? Okay. Giving the information out to that.
So that starts tomorrow.
Waverly Hills on if you could put that up or something.
Yeah,
I don't
if
know.
you can send me that information, I'll actually put it at the top header as soon as people go on the page, or I can even put it where it pops up as a notice right when they pop up, right when they come on. It's the first thing that will pop up on the screen as like a little box that gives information or whatever.
Right there's the website, Jesse. Right on the bottom of the screen, www.savewaverlyhills.com.
SaveWaverlyHills.com. All right, cool.
You can go on there.
I
The
will.
T-shirt that Ernie is wearing, you can go on there and buy that for $25, and all $25
donation.
goes straight to Save Waverly.
$25
That's
donation.
awesome.
A $25 donation will get you a T-shirt.
Heck yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to get me one of them
You
shirts.
got to avoid Uncle Sam's taxes.
And it glows in the dark.
It's a donation, and they're like, "Here's a free shirt with your $25 donation."
Yeah.
It glows in the dark.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So if you're a paranormal investigator and you don't want to glow in the dark shirt, something's wrong.
That's funny. I just had a pair of dowsing rods I had to make as glow in the dark for a customer.
Yeah.
I love that glow in the dark looks. Yeah, I can actually. That'd be cool. Oh man.
Yeah, these are cool. The back of them have the building on them.
Yeah.
Hang on, I think Denise is getting ready to display it again. Here we go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It looks better in the glow than it does, in light.
Yeah.
Because the details come out and pop. It's really cool. But
that's awesome.
$25 donation gets you one of those. That's the only place you're going to be able to get them is through SaveWaverlyHills.com. They're not on sale anywhere else, and they're badass.
Awesome, man. I'm glad you guys let me come on and speak my mind a little bit on it. And I appreciate it. Anything I can do to help, for sure, just reach out, and I'm all about it. Like, however, if you need me to put something on the website, if you need whatever you need done, just consider it done and just message me and I'll make it happen.
All right.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you offering to donate part of your sales to the cause, and we're going to promote that all day tomorrow.
Yeah, no. And so the thing is with me, man, is like, I don't do this to really make money off of it. Like, I got a couple businesses that pay my income, but I do this because I enjoy it. Because, when I first started ghost hunting, man, everything was so expensive. So, my goal is to give everybody something on a budget and, just keep this thing moving. So for me, donating sounds like the right thing to do. And
coming up with innovative things. You really do. You come up with some really innovative things that help the field. So we're appreciative of that as well.
Yeah, I definitely try to do that. And hopefully, me and Ernie will be talking again soon, and we'll get something else that's innovative on the market again too. So
here's a hint, folks.
Yeah, it's good. I'm super excited about it. I'm not even gonna lie. Now you got me pumped about it again because I'm face to face with you.
Yeah, and Tim can give his little testimony on the stone that I gave him at Waverly when he was affected up there. Yep. It worked for him. And then
the minute he gave me that, the minute he gave me this, I started feeling better within a minute.
That's awesome.
And I looked at him right then. I was like, "Hey, where can I get? Do you guys sell these?" Didn't I, Ernie? I came right up to you. Do you guys sell these? Because I want to buy 2 of them right now. I gave him the money in hand right then.
Yeah,
I did. I was like, "There is your money, buddy. I need that." And I've got it right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Denise, you're the reason that Denise hates me now. Because now she has to make these because everybody wants them now. And
that's good.
And Jesse might be buying them in bulk here soon. So
yeah, for sure. And if you ever need
more busy, Ernie.
If you ever want Ernie and you want them on the site too, along with what we're going to be doing, don't hesitate to shoot it over. I'll put it on the site for you.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to make another batch here in the next few days because we got a lot of people wanting them right now. So we'll be talking about that.
Oh, believe me, I know once you get around Christmas time, everybody wants everything right now.
Yeah.
And I will say this too. This does come with a list of ingredients that are inside the stone. So my list is personalized to me a little bit. 'Cause I'm probably one of the last few people that ever got one that has Waverly dust in it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this contains dust from Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes,
The ones
it
that
is.
we're making right now are from Octagon Hall, another haunted location. Talked to Mike Hatcher out in Vegas. He's going to send us some bricks from some other haunted locations like Mansfield and some other locations. So we're gonna always have brick dust
Something.
from haunted locations to put in them.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's going to be cool. But I appreciate everything you're doing, Jesse. I mean,
Yeah, no problem.
we're just trying the biggest way that folks who can't donate. I know that it's Christmas time and everybody's tapped out, and we've had this tornado. I know there's a lot of fundraisers to, I'm here in Kentucky. There's a lot of fundraisers right now to raise money for the people affected by the tornadoes. So people are kind of tapped out on their giving, but this is definitely a worthy cause, folks, and anything anybody can do to help us, we really appreciate it. And I can't say enough about Jesse and his equipment. We use his equipment when we're Sasquatch hunting and get results.
Which Crystal and I are coming to do.
What's that?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we're gonna get you out in the woods with us, Tim.
Jesse, my normal name on these podcasts is the Rare Balded Sasquatch.
I've even got my own Sasquatch keychain.
Oh, I love it.
Tell you that ain't what's up right there.
You're
Well,
gonna have to come watching with us sometime, brother.
the reason
Yeah, for
everybody
sure.
calls me the reason everybody calls me the Rare Balded Sasquatch is because I'm 6'3" and I wear a 15 shoe. So I've got big, long feet, and I'm real tall. So
I'm
everybody's like,
only 6 foot tall, but I got a 14 right there, brother.
There you
That's
go.
so you
All
know
right.
you're right there with me, Ernie. We're just old bald Sasquatches. Well, I'm
Yeah.
bald.
Well, I don't mean to cut you guys short, but I wanted to say thanks for letting me come on, and I'll be expecting some emails from or messages from you guys so I can do whatever I got to do to support you guys and make this happen. So thanks, guys, for letting me come on. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Ernie will
No
message
problem.
you right after the show, I bet.
Take care. All right.
Awesome.
And we
I'll be with
appreciate you, Jesse. We do. God bless you, buddy. We
All
appreciate
right,
it.
you too, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right. This is awesome.
That was my big surprise for you. I knew that before the show started.
I like that. I like Jesse. We met him out at Salina at the Paracon out there, and he had a great experience with the EAD stone, and so we had a lot of conversations about that. He has some pain issues, and we never thought of the EAD stone as a healer, but he came over to us and he's like, look, I got full range of motion in my arm and it's always hurting. And, this doesn't usually happen. But anyway, that was cool.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, rub it on your hair.
I'm going to take it in the shower with me now. It's going everywhere.
Paranormal Nation Radio. All the details can be found at SaveWaverlyHills.com or the Save Waverly Hills Facebook page, and it's been shared to just about every paranormal group out there. Everyone that I can possibly get it to, I've shared it to. But in
Carl,
short,
you can reach out to any of us too.
Yeah, Carl, message me after the show.
we can fill you in. It's the rightful owners of the building, Charlie and Tina Mattingly, are fighting a court battle right now to save the building from a hostile takeover by the nonprofit organization they created and leased the building to. And it's all a big money grab for them. And they are not paranormal people. And they are threatening a bucket list location for all of us in the field. So that's the short that's the short of it, but there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, we definitely want to do everything we can. And Carl, tomorrow we're having a parathon all day long on Things Network and on Pun United, or what used to be the Paranormal United Network. Now it is the Paralink. Paralinks. That's it. You're right. I still know it as Pun TV.
Right. It's going to be Pun to me till I die too.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
But we're and any other network that wants to join is more than welcome to air it on their network. We're going to have different hosts popping in and out, and we're going to bring people in. We're going to bring everybody in the comments that wants to come on the show. All they have to do is click the link at the top of the show. At the top of your comments, there'll be a pinned link to StreamYard. You click on that link, you'll pop up. You go in and you allow them to use your mic and your camera and allow them to use your likeness. And then you type in your name and you hit Enter Studio. And when you hit Enter Studio, you're going to come up as a little bitty screen down here at the bottom of my screen or whoever the host should be. And we're going to click on that and boom, we're going to come up. And once again, I want to reiterate that those shows are going to run for 3 hours and 55 minutes, have a 5-minute break, then another 3 hours and 55 minutes. So that will happen all day long tomorrow, right here on Things Network where you're watching. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on different networks, Facebooks, different networks, YouTubes. So it will be all over the place. It will be shared out to 1 million different paranormal groups, I'm sure. So we will be doing that all day. And Jeremy York wanted to say he's sorry again for not being able to be on the show. Jeremy, you worry about you right now, brother.
You just take care of yourself, brother.
We have told you this all day.
Yeah.
Just worry about you. We got this.
Worry about
This
yourself.
is going to run without you. This is going to run without you.
But we need you back.
But we need you
Yeah,
back.
help him get back.
So we need you to get better and come back to us.
Yeah.
Once again, keep Jeremy in your thoughts and prayers because we just have about a
Starts
minute
at
left.
8 a.m. Central Time, and you'll see us on, like we said earlier, it'll be 3 hours, 55 minutes. That's for Facebook and StreamYard.
And YouTube.
And YouTube, they cut us off. So we'll be right. We're going to take a 5-minute break, let people get refreshed, come back in with another one. It's going to keep going.
Ernie, we want to thank you for being on the show. Unfortunately, we have to end our show because we have another show coming on right after us.
Yeah, good
A
luck.
brand new show. It's Howard's new show. So, yeah, just so
Parental
you know.
disclaimer, do not have your kids with you to watch this show because this is not a
There
normal
will be
show.
discussion of aquatic entities and
And much worse.
Much worse. The name of the show is The Unholy Trinity. So we will get off here for tonight. God bless everybody. Thank you again, Ernie. We appreciate you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow during the Parathon. Goodbye, everybody.
I will be signing in when I can, brother.
Awesome.
Anytime.
Good seeing you again. Bye,
You too.
Crystal.
Wow.
Bye, everybody. Everybody that chimed in the chat, thank you. Help us out all you can. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.